I want to play Elden Ring again, but I'm so. Last time I installed it, I had no idea what I was doing. I don't want to restart though.
I didn't have a choice.
You didn't have a choice.
Yeah, big sad.
You can't transfer save or something.
It was corrupted.
Oh, from the mod?
Yeah.
Damn.
All right, let's go. They have crowd control now for Elden Ring.
Oh.
I think there's a dragon in here.
Okay. Let's do some more Torment. Where is Anna joins the party? Dude, I'm 20 plus hours into this game and I just got like a third party member.
Done.
Yeah, you were saying that. Rough.
It's long, but it's like, it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. It's like reading a book. It's like playing a book. Oh my god. I need a water. Oh hey Will, what's your availability? What's everyone's availability? What's your availability?
Yes.
Just so like, would it be fine to make a Facebook event?
Or
Bad movie.
oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I'm just not sure what date. Well, I mean, I could always just make the event and change the date. Yeah, I'll do that. Oh, my volume's still pretty high. Okay. Let's see. What quest can we do? I don't think we can really do any other quest. We could fetch embalming fluid and needle for Ivane. But we have to go back into the mortuary.
Endure. In enduring, grow strong.
We just have everyone kill
What's up?
me.
Aye?
Tanja's folly. I'm hurt.
That's fine.
Again, it has come to pass.
Oops.
You're not chief,
All
you
right.
snore.
How else am I supposed to get through? Had to get inside a freaking mortuary, but it's locked. The only way to get in is if you die. So, just have the party members kill you. Big brain. Ivane. Give her the thread and embalming fluid.
Updated my journal.
Without missing a beat, Ivane snaps a thread from your hands and hooks it around one of her talons. Then begins sewing up the corpse chest. She then takes the embalming fluid and begins to apply a layer to the corpse. Wait. Within minutes, she is finished. She clicks her talons and then turns to face you. To your surprise, she extends her hand and drags her talons along your arms and chest. It's not that I'm not flattered, but looks like you have a new friend, Chief. You need some time together, or keep playing zombie. As she traces your arms and chest, you suddenly notice she seems to be examining your scars. She withdraws her talons, clicks them twice, then bends forward and examines some of the tattoos on your chest. You're right on you. Hivers do that. No respect for Zomphies. Zomphies, not paintings. She sniffs and pokes one of your scars. This one bad shape. Many scars. No preserves. Wait. Her talons suddenly hook into the thread you brought her, and lightning-like, she jabs another talon into the skin near one of your scars. It feels barely more than a pinprick, but it looks like she's about to start stitching you up. Let her work.
Updated my journal.
The sensation is curiously painless as Ivane begins to stitch up your scars. When she is done, she sniffs you, frowns, then stabs her fingers into the embalming fluid. Within minutes, she has dabbed your body with the fluid, and strangely enough, it makes you feel better. Let her work. This may be the second time in my life. I'm thankful I don't have a noise.
Hopping on.
Okay, bye-bye.
Well,
Ivane puts the last touches on your body, gives you another sniff, nods, and then makes a shooting motion with her talons. Done. Go. Go. What'd you do to me? Is this what is this? Gaudy ring. Appears to be a silver ring. Okay. Can you examine it? These rings are quite common across the plains, simple to make and in great demand. Mages usually create these items as a way to equip money. To armor class. I already have that as the armor class. Same with that. I could give it to give it to you. You probably want some bandages, huh? There you go. I need to sell some stuff. Well, that's it for our quest. After I delivered the embalming fluid and thread to Ivane, she stitched up my scars and applied embalming fluid on my body. Strangely enough, it made me feel healthier. Do we get XP from that? Oh, want to go down.
I'm gone.
I'm gone.
Done.
At least we don't drop anything when we die. I know there was a zombie boy here. The post. Use your bones tell ability on the corpse. No reply, it looks like it's far gone to that guy. Never mind. Where's the nearest? We go down we go down south and then
Done.
then shoot. No, because that'll bring us to the
Hey,
alley.
watch, Chief. Just look natural. Casual.
No. Okay.
Done.
Who'd be selling stuff? Who are you? Freaking thugs. Get out of here. Do not want to deal with you. Is there a button for a quick? Journal. Nope. Quick slot miscellaneous. Quick loot. T.
Yeah? Sure, why not?
All right.
You. No, I don't think you let me sell. Oh, you do. Okay. Yeah, can't sell that though. Okay. Shoot. You can buy stuff from me.
I'm gone. I'm gone.
I know it was the guy in that underground town. Oh, thank God, you'll buy this. Obsidian earring. Oh, to stealth? Wait, why don't I give that to there you go. Chain teeth earrings. No, these earrings will only add to your open lock skill when they are equipped. Punch daggers. Oh. Oh, you can just 1 to 4. It is use these ones.
I'm not giving that up.
Yeah, fair.
The Karak blade is tied to me. Neither may exist without the other.
It's pretty good weapon anyways, you know. Copy the spell. Armor. Duration until destroyed by damage. Physical attacks shall be better thwarted as protection is granted. Oh shoot! Bring upon one foolish. If the target creature fails its saving throw at -1 penalty, the creature will be struck with blindness and suffer a blind. Magical orb protective energy arises and protects the recipient from attacks from all directions. This spell only works on Nameless One. When cast, all his normal punches attacks. Oh wow. Grants +1 to hit and +1 to saving throws to all creatures that are friendly to the caster in 70 feet. Summons a magic missile that strikes its target. Oops. It is a cumulative with dexterity bonuses, but nothing else. The spell lasts until the wearer sustains cumulative damage totaling more than 8 points. Well, the armor does not absorb this damage, it only disintegrates after that much damage has been inflicted on it. May we rest here?
All right.
I hear your words. Your will be done.
You ever
I'm
get the
gone.
feeling you're being watched? You are.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
I'm gone. Wait, did I get a message?
Done.
Aye. What is it you want then?
Did I meet you in the hive before I found Farod? She nods a little wearily. Oh, you did? I've forgotten you. When I asked about Farod, you told me he was south and west of the mortuary, when he wasn't. Why did she do that? Man, I needed to know freaking information, and she does that. I did? You'd have done the same if some scarred wreck came to you and asked where he could find your dad. She shrugs. Anyway, so I don't want to hear caring about it. What were you doing by the mortuary? It's my territory. I was looking for debtors, I was. She looks you up and down and smirks. Found a walking one, I did. Other questions? Tell me a little bit about Farod. No, alright. Oh, I need to rest.
Done.
Done.
All right.
What's her pickpocket? 50%. Still 50. What the heck? Thought you'd have more. Part of the faction. Group of individuals who hold similar beliefs. Faction. Free League and depths. Chaotic neutral. Chaotic good. Neutral good. Kinda want to talk to this guy.
I'm gone.
I'm very interested. What other quests we have? I don't know where the heck Mar is. Eventually. Eventually. These barrels are probably to catch rainwater. The only thing that fills them is dust. Val turns to face you as you approach. He folds his arms into his sleeves and waits. Try and strike up a conversation and see if you can translate what Fel is saying. Whoa. You ask Davos several questions, trying to get a feel for the rebuses that appear above its head. It is extremely patient throughout your discussion, giving you easy sentences to translate. After a few minutes, you start to get a hang of it. It feels like you've done this before. Maybe you can help me. Davos waits. What is this place? A slow train of symbols materialize around Fel's head. The symbols take several moments to resolve, starting with simple lines, then fleshing themselves out into breathtaking colors. You're guessing at some of the symbols, but you think he's an artist, and this is a tattoo parlor. Alright. Can I see what tattoos you have? Oh. Invokes old undead. You have learned to speak with the dead and hear their stories. Even from beyond the eternal boundary, this tattoo draws upon your power underneath. Has only a limited number of uses before it vanishes. Tattoos vanish. Tattoo of Anna. Some of Anna's presence must be rubbing off on you, for this tattoo allows you to call upon some of her cat-like skills and grace to hone your thief abilities. Fortunately, it also inherits some of Anna's rashness and impulsiveness, reducing her charisma and wisdom accordingly. Tattoo of Skull. This tattoo is a minor ward against physical attacks that hardens the wearer's skin, making them difficult to hurt in combat. It's pretty crazy. This tattoo grants the wearer a bonus to health, making them more difficult to take down in combat. Wait, hold up, before I buy. How does this work? Where do tattoos go? Just on my... Oh, you get one tattoo. You get two, three. You get three tattoos. Anyone else that get tattoos? Yeah. Mort does not. Let's get like 2 of these. Why not? +3 to base hit points. Grants the wearer a slight bonus to health, making it more difficult to knock unconscious. Tattoo of health. This tattoo gives a minor gain to wearer's endurance and pain threshold, making it more difficult to take down combat. Constitution. Presence. Increases charisma. Tattoos that affect your... Huh. Get 2 of those and then... Wisdom, insight, intelligence. Okay, wait, hold on. Before I buy one of these, is there a downside to any of these? Questions for you. Tell me anything about these tattoos on my body. Phil studies your body for a moment. Walking around you, he mirrors each symbol as he examines it, then returns to face you. From what you can make of his floating symbols, he's saying the tattoos are not his. Thanks. Yeah, okay. Alright. Get 2 of those. +1 specialist tattoo has a barbed whip inscribed on it. The wearer strikes an opponent in combat. The tattoo flares, and the whip takes an extra bite out of the opponent. Wild. This tattoo has 2 concentric rings. When inscribed on the skin, the wearer's perceptions of distance and balance has heightened, giving their attacks greater accuracy. Okay, well, we did this. 1. And then, like... Action 1. Carry more weight. +2 to strength. +1 damage to all attacks. Blah. Psycho +1. Maybe I'll get one just for Dakon. Where is it? Insight. Spirit. Can need to identify. Okay. Armor class. Accuracy. Insight and action. What's your dexterity? 19. Wow. Dakon, can you translate for me? Ask him what this place is. Places pictures on flesh here. Huh. I have some questions for you. I feel like I know you, Fel. Fel bows reverently, and a stream of symbols swirl about his head, rotating clockwise, then counterclockwise. You have to guess at some of the symbols, but you think he said something about this not being the first time you have come to this place. Do you know who I am? Another series of symbols materialize quickly and sharply into focus above Fel's head. These symbols are not as difficult as the others. You think he said he knows you, but he cannot say any more than that. Why not? For a moment there is no response from Fel, then a stream of rebuses appear, as if trickling out of Fel's mind. You think he's saying he's sorry, but you can't translate the rest. Alright. Can someone translate? More, can you translate? More scoffs. I'd sooner be strained through Tanari's bowels than unravel what these floating goat heads are trying to say. You want to translate it? Get a feeling Chit to do it. He nods at Anna. She's a Hive native. Anna, can you translate? Anna pauses for a moment. She looks torn. I can. Will you? Anna shakes her head. Nay. I'm not about to walk with you into the late shadows, so I'm not. I see. Try to speak with him myself. Leave. Damn.
All right.
Stand away from me, Mort.
Whoa.
I can't stand anywhere. It's this leg thing, you know?
Find a way, skull.
Whoa. Chill. Unusual art. Looks like a clock, but there are no numbers or hands on it. Item or barbed black branches have been inscribed on this wall. What's over here? This design is hollow. It's a hollow beast with a tiny demon on its head. Human skin has been stretched across these wooden frames. The skins are covered with tattoos. Pretty neat. Aren't concerned with structure or order. They are individuals who tend toward performing acts of kindness. Oh. Neutral characters believe in order. Anna, can you translate for me? Then do it. Okay. It's fine.
All right.
Carrying anything we don't need? Yeah. What can I sell to? So there was a door in the burning whatever it's called.
All right.
Smoldering corpse bar. You sell stuff? You sell food? You said you had my eye. I'd like to buy it back. 500? That's ridiculous. That is. Tell you what, give me 300 and your eye is yours. I'll be back later. What the hell? Oh, I can do 300. Deal. It's a deal. He produces a darkened, wax-stoppered, wide-mouthed bottle from his pocket. You hear the sound of liquid sloshing around inside it, along with a heavier, squishier noise. Opening it, the stench of some sort of preservative agent nearly makes you gag. Floating in the viscid muck is an eyeball. You better figure out what you want to do with that. Now you've exposed it to the air. You might as well put a pickled egg in the jar for all the good it'll do. Make up your mind, Cutter. Pickled egg or not. Tear out your eyeball and place this one in the socket. Oh! With a moment's hesitation, you reach into your socket and pop your eye into the palm of your hand. The bartender helpfully severs the optic nerve and directs your hand to the jar of goo that sits on the bar. You deposit your eye in the preservative, wrap your fingers around the old one, slide it into your empty socket. The pain of this entire operation is incredible. After a moment, though, you can feel the optic nerve reattaching itself to this new eye. You suddenly are hit by a new flash of memory. Absorb it. Whoa! Memory flash. A vast expanse of chaotic, ever-changing wasteland stretching before you. A group of humanoid vultures plummeting toward you, cruel weapons ready to strike, and your own shining blade clutched tight in your fist. Three tufts around you, tufts, and the colors of an enemy you can't quite place. Long daggers glisten in their hands, and the light glints cruelly from their exposed teeth. You glance at your scarred hands, and you know that soon you'll be covered in blood. Memory flash. An enormous frog-like creature comes bounding over through under chaos stuff, headed for you with a mouthful of teeth. You hurl your javelin through the shifting matter and pin the creature to a sudden stone plinth. You have recalled some of your lost fighting skills. Show more. Ask. Proficiency points increase permanently. Alright. I have an updating journal for that one. That's pretty crazy. Oh, we take damage for doing that? This one functional door is now nailed shut and barred on the inside to protect against thieves. Alright. Whoa.
All right.
Alright. I think that's really it. Let's rest just to get our health up
Done.
and see where our body is. Or she found our body? Oh, not here.
I'm gone. All right.
5:15 p.m.
Done.
Done.
All right.
Alright. Okay, Anna. Our body found.
Aye. What is it you want then?
Might as well give you the punch frickin' daggers. Huh.
Huh?
I will hear you.
Ready. Aye. What is it you want then?
Where is this place where he found my body? The spot where I found your body lies beyond the painted door in the high red light district. The door is on the northern street, north and east of the smoldering corpse bar. Beyond the door is an alley where I found your body. Strange place it is. Not many brooks will go there. Strange. How? Some brooks with less courage than names say it's all haunted. Anna spits and makes a semicircle of her heart. It's wash. Sometimes the wind blows through the alley and makes weird sighing noises. That don't mean there's a there's specters and haunts and the like. I see. Other questions? Yeah, alright. Let's go. Was it this? What you first took what you first took to be a door in this archway is actually a painting. The artist has made the use of the shadows of the overhanging arch, some subtle texturing effects to give the door the illusion of substance. Are you sure this is the door, Anna? Aye. It's been smeared with barmaid paints from the Starved Dogs has. It's a real door until you look at it, then it turns into a painting. How did they do that? Anna shrugs. There's stranger things in the plains. She suddenly frowns. You might as well ask you got yourself out of the dead book after I was sure you was dead. So this door, I just look at it and then open it. Anna glances at the door and then nods. That's the dark of it, if it can't be true. Alright then. I'll do what you say. You just... Hold on. Anna stops you before you reach for the door. This is the only path I know to reach the place I found your corpse, but it's not the safest road, You sure you're ready? I'm not here to play your minder, no matter what old stutter crutch says. What's beyond this door that's so dangerous? Chaos men, Anna whispers. Barmy as they come, barmy wild into the day and night, ready to either paint you with colors or crack your brain box with a chamber pot. Dangerous bloods they are. If they're so dangerous, then how did you get through? I crept in nice and quiet like. Can't paint you or kill you when they can't see you. She looks you up and down with a frown. I can pull that twice with you around. You look right clumsy, you do. Yeah, let's get re-equipped. Dang, if I freaking have known. Let's get some, we need some stuff. Stuff and things. That or we check out, the rat people.
All right.
Which we could do. Did we level up? I don't remember. Path of the Warrior. Axes. Learn to use this weapon. Guess we can't teach you anymore. Alright.
I'm gone.
I'm gone.
I'm gone.
Junk.
All right.
We got over here. Any loot? What happened? I heard a ding.
Done.
Done. to sell some stuff. Get some money.
Done.
Oh, wanna talk trades. Rusty dagger. I could probably get out of the green steel dagger. Our axe is pretty cool, but we don't need it. Gonna need a lot of healing stuff. Ooh, 700. Oh, you're that expensive, huh? Angel's Eye. Divine Sensor. Invokes Raised Dead. It's got like a bunch. Okay, maybe too much. It's already 300. Wait, you can't use this? Huh. Yeah, I'll sell it then. You have 20. Oh, you have 20. 26. Bing, bang, boom. Wooden club. Spike. Guess I'll hold on to the junk. You don't need so much junk, though.
Done.
Done. Hey, let me in. You open this gate for me again. Will you let me back in? Or like what?
All right.
Oh shoot, dude. Formation. Stick to formation. Ignore all of it. Get the hell out of Dodge. Go, go, go. You see a half man, half right. You see a half man, half rat hybrid. Its red eyes gleam with a certain cunning, and the voice that issues from its mouth is oily and insinuating. So, a pipe comes, willing to the halls, as many as one. What do you want, man, and where do you intend to go? Step lightly, intruder, and speak the truth to Manutok. What are you? You are truly ignorant, yes. Clear it is that you have come here in error. You shall not leave. He raises his hands and smoke pours from his fingers. You can talk this out. Oh!
All right.
What the hell? Oh, dude, free battle axe? A lot of battle axes. Why? Why is this one not in the list? Skull. Fly. Heals 3 hit points. A mace. 2 to 8 crushing. 3 to 9 clubs. Fly charm. Or another mace. These racks were used to pin a victim down and then slowly pull him apart. This is a dead collector. The progress of decay suggests it has been here for some time. As you approach the bars, there is a flash of silver, and then one of the were-rat guards falls upon the other with a blinding ferocity. After having slain his fellow were-rat, this fellow looks square at Anna. It's shadows. Shadows? I'm letting you out. I can't stand to see you caged like this. Put in a kind word for me should you make it back to the village, and let him know that something bad's coming that way. Can't say what yet, but just so you know. Aw, Shad. Now you know we were all worried for you, aye? It's a pity you're here. She looks at him with more affection than you've ever seen in her eyes. Go on, let us out then. Get out of here. Oh, Bumpy here is going to get some revenge on our rats, I reckon. Please, Shad. Aye then. He takes the keys from Raymond's body, unlocks the door, and opens it for you. Get going now. He gives a quick bow and scampers away. We will, thanks. Oh, snap! What the hell? Where are we? What's happening? Many as one? Many of one? I think many as one. I don't remember. Oops. Many as one. I was way off. Enemy spotted. Oh shoot, hold up. We need a quick item. Alright, forgot. Okay.
Balance in all things.
Jesus, what the hell was that?
Done.
I'm here.
It is I.
What? You blathering idiot! My pipe's not.
Weapons not.
My pipe's not working on this. My pipe's not working on this thing.
Oh shoot.
What's up, Chief? Poor
No. Dagon.
Doing well.
Weapons
Not working on this thing.
done.
Yeah, cause the freaking were. Oh no. Ow, 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 ow.
Rebellion disrupted on.
Game is freaking loud, dude.
Pipe's
What?
not working on this thing.
Oh shoot.
My pipe's not working on this thing. What's the word, Chief?
What you be wanting now?
Endure.
What's
In
up?
enduring, grow strong.
Okay.
We're getting the hell out of Dodge.
Done.
We're going. We're going. We're going. Oh my god, go. Tron Nation Catacombs. Shoot. It's a dead end. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Oh, oh shoot. Wait, our journal update? No. Bad idea, bad idea. This way, this way, this way, this way.
Yeah? Huh? Sure, why not?
Done.
Other way, other way, other way, other way. Go, go, go. Ah, shoot, it's locked.
Failed.
What? Sure, why not?
Aye? Why not?
Against spells.
All right.
Oh,
All right.
go, go, go. Screw that.
I'm gone.
That's in. Oh, that sucked. Shoot, 50. I don't know if I can pay that much. Oh, man. Grab. Get 40. Very well. Maybe I should tell freaking Farod.
All right.
Do you know anything about this? Just something about John. Did you take any from my body when you found it? Damn. What about... Red Village? Uh-oh. Shoot. Load.
All right.
No.
All right.
I want to see what other dialogue there is.
I'm gone.
Oh, I feel like nothing different. Might as well check.
All right. I'm gone. Done.
Talk to the dude. You. Oops.
Done.
Let's go. Came to see you. To see me? Who sent you on this fool's errand? Sogo. Pauses as he is evaluating you. Why the priest of dust and ash not use the usual methods? Why did Sogo Rat King not use the couriers? Bah, no matter. Speak the message and have it done with. Told me to speak. He told me I should speak it only to many as one. The were rat's tail lashes furiously. Very well, speak to many as one, you shall. Speak no lies, biped, for the many can read your thoughts as easily as it hears your voice. But keep that in mind. Many voice masters until we know. Go, bud. Go, do not test our patience. And I shall. I'm looking forward to it. Did not read any of that. You are staggered by the sound of hundreds of voices speaking as one into your mind. There is a depth of insistence to the communication that beggars speech. Speak your purpose here, biped, and speak swiftly and true. You are in the halls of many as one. You will not leave, but by our grace, know that we can read your mind and smell your lies. What is this place? We are the eyes in the dark places. We are many who think as one. We do not answer your questions. You will answer ours. What are you doing in this place so far from the lighted corridors of humankind? Ah, it's a collection of brain vermin. Best be gone as soon as possible. They'll crush your mind. I've seen the 20 of them lay ambushes for drunks, sabotage buildings, and I even heard rumors that they can cast spells when there are lots of them. I cannot imagine what 100 or more of the pests might be able to do together. More whispers. This ain't good, Chief. Watch your step, or they'll wipe your mind clean out of existence. They're more powerful and in bigger groups. Each of them adds to a group brain. They're deadly. I came to see you, many as one. You lie, biped. We have no traffic with your kind. No need, no desire. You were seen in the scavenger village talking to the cripple king. You are a spy. You are an assassin. No, I am not. How can I prove that I am not lying? Prove yourself worthy of trust. Go to the halls of the walking dead. Kill the Silent King. Kill him. Who? The walking dead are ruled by a king who dwells in a place we cannot see. You must destroy him to destroy them. He is a mystery to us. We have never seen him. He must die. Why don't you do it? The dead entrenched are they, difficult to harm. The silent king, a mystery he is. We do not like such mysteries. We strike when we can, succeed without doubt. The silent king makes us doubt. I accept.
Updated my journal.
You are wise to accept our dictates. Journey to the halls of the dead. Strike down their silent ruler. Return here, and we shall discuss reward. Very well, farewell. I have nothing yet. Alright.
All right.
Let me just... The structure glowing within with sickly green light appears to be a focus of some sort, but for what, you cannot tell. It emanates a mental hum. Yeah, alright, time to go.
Done.
Yeah, okay. Let's see what you guys have around here. Let's just explore the map, you know? I don't like any of this, oh my god. These guys contain fairly fresh water. Just a door. Oh. Small bottle containing some dark liquid. We can examine it. Identify with the spell. There's a small bottle containing some dark liquid. The liquid contained within seems to be thicker and blacker than ordinary liquid. The blackness of the liquid is so dark that the light seems to be absorbed into the liquid. Invokes black sphere. Interesting. Like Bone Club. Don't mind me, just checking the place out, you know? It's very lovely. Where does that lead? Cranium Rack Collective. This device appears to be broken. Siege machine. Ball lightning. Door is locked.
Aye?
Can you thieving
Right.
skill? Nice. How much can you carry? Okay.
Done.
Cranium rack. We talked to it? No. Jeez. A lot of skulls and whatnot. This dark corner looks like kind of place rats would favor. The tables in this room have seen some hard use. Door's locked.
Might as well.
Mechanism that operates. This does not have a conventional lock and may be warded against simple spells. Damn.
All right. All right.
Oh, we're going. How much? Suppose it can do that. Reach 40. Farewell.
Done.
40 bucks. Trade. I forget, can she use this? No. Crescent hatchet. Battle axe. What's the difference? Another axe. Rusty dagger. Hatchet. Earring. Five of those and like 20. Definitely get more. $400. Usable only in mortuary. Oh, the sledgehammer. Invokes a black sphere. Maybe like a smoke grenade.
All right.
Okay,
Aye. What is it you want then?
let's move on. Oh wait,
Ready. Aye. What is it you want then? Why not?
oh boy.
I'm gone.
Should be fine for now? Question mark.
Endure. In enduring, grow strong. Your will be done.
Done.
Your will be done. Any other quests? Discover the weakness of the Silent King. We'll find a way to help Ingress somehow, eventually. It's like a
Done.
little point of no return thing then. Purchase charms. $800. Needle and thread. Just lets it be unequipped. Rest. Nighttime. I don't want to do it on nighttime.
I'm gone.
I'm gone.
All right. Done.
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 I don't trust the Gith. I say we leave him behind.
Oh what he is? Information. Strongest creature killed. Time with party. 2 days. $56, oh my god.
I'm gone.
Okay, here we go. I think we're ready.
Oh, I grew up here. Not a pleasant childhood, mind you.
How do they do that? This door opens. Okay, wait. Pretend that's ready. Dangerous. Stay behind. You close your eyes, reach for the door, and fumble around. To your surprise, you find a handle. With a slight tug, the door opens. A narrow passage leads into the building, and from within you can hear distant howling. Time to head in. Oh! Barod! Oh, snap. Oh!
I'm gone.
Tiefling painter. You see a slender tiefling girl standing with her back to you. You notice that both her hands and the appended table in front of her are smeared with a flesh coat of what appears to be pink paint. She seems oblivious to your approach. Greetings. At the sound of your voice, the girl turns her head to regard you. Her face, though somewhat dirty and spattered with drops of pink, is strikingly beautiful. She flashes you a wide, mischievous smile, then returns her attention to the makeshift canvas. I had some questions. The tiefling girl is totally immersed in her artwork. She ignores you entirely. Alright. Money, money. Oh, it's a door. What the hell is that? Paint is dug uninjured. Around painting people in their sleep.
Just folly.
How do you know you didn't do it for like creep?
The Karak sings true.
Target's gone. The hell am I hearing? bandages. Always good, always nice. Let's go this way. Who are you? Tiresias? Tiresias? You see an aging man dressed in tattered rags. As you draw nearer, you discover that he is missing both of his eyes. The scarred tissue of his eyelids has receded into his eye sockets, empty sockets, giving his features the macabre appearance of a decaying skull. Greetings. The old man turns in your general direction, his arms outreached as if feeling for you. Darkness, Ubian voice. Friend words, I'll speak of you and call chaos. The old man cocks his head to one side, his lightless gaze fixed on empty space. Chaos of you are not. Not pots, not. You're not making any sense. Walk, not talk. Talk is complete. Completed to completion. He turns his back to you, apparently done with the conversation. Look, old man, better give me some straight answers or you'll soon be missing more than just your eyes. The old man screams, outraged by your threat. No friend you be, and no friends have you here. Friends I have, and friends I call. Takes a deep breath as he is about to take a... Oh, shoot! Reach out and snap his neck. Quickly set upon the blind man, cupping one hand over his mouth to prevent him from screaming. You grab the back of his head and... Oh my god. Oh my god! With your free hand and twist his neck until you hear a sharp crack. All too easy. It's pretty messed up, dude. Oh my god. Or we're calling it. Really ain't changing. Sybil. You see a figure hidden amid the shadows in the corner of the room. As you draw near, a young woman steps out to reveal herself. She's dressed in a loose-fitting tunic. Oh, okay, hold up.
Done.
Is there anything else we could do? Greetings, sense. Very well. Yeah, no.
Done.
You see a figure hidden amid the shadows in the corner of the room. As you draw near, a young woman steps out to reveal herself. She is dressed in a loose-fitting tunic, which, together with her short cropped hair and slender frame, gives her a rather boyish appearance. I wouldn't go in there if I were you. She nods in the direction of the door on the south wall. Why? What is beyond the door? She winces at the sound of your voice, putting a finger to her lips to indicate silence. She pauses for a moment and answers in a hushed voice. A whole mess of them howling lunatics. That's what. Looks like they're having some sort of gathering. Won't be able to get through the alley until they're clear out. Howling lunatics. Is there an echo here? Yes, howling lunatics. They belong to the Stave Dog, barking gang, a band of barmy Zeocitics, thugs that plague this part of the hive. How many of them are there? I counted about a dozen of them. Of course, I was peeking through a crack in the door, so I could be off by a handful or so. A dozen or so? That's hardly... No. Thanks for the warning. Farewell. Who are you? My name's Sybil. She whispers quietly, then spits into her palm and reaches out to clasp your hand. What are you doing in here? What does it look like I'm doing? I'm hiding. I came in here looking for food. You notice that as she speaks, her right hand moves instinctively to the pouch at her waist. Only the barking idiots in the next room showed up and decided to throw a party on the front doorstep. I'm trapped in here and I can't get out. Barking idiots. Looks like we'll have to fight our way through. There may be another way to get past those animals without a fight. There is another door that leads in there. From what I was able to see, there are stacks of wooden crates along the same wall as the other door. It may be possible to sneak from that door to the exit on the other side of the room. There's only one problem. There's always a problem. Wouldn't be fun without otherwise. The door's locked. I tried it. My guess is that the key is on one of the thugs upstairs. I'm not alcoved enough to go up there looking for it though. She folds her arms across her chest and stares at you expectantly. If the key is up there, find it. Farewell. Oh, if the key is up there, I'll find it. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
If you do manage to live long enough to find the key, the door is in a room to the southeast. I'll be watching from the shadows. You can unlock the door and make it out to the alley in one piece. I'll be right behind you. Farewell then. Alright, so let's not go in there, huh? Silver bracelet. Some money. Money. Upstairs, huh? Need a key.
Aye?
Can you go stealth mode? Why can you not stealth?
Like a shadow I am. Might as well. Live the shadows. Like a shadow I am. Like a shadow I am. Like a shadow I am.
Gonna be spotted.
Live the shadows. Damn it!
Uh-oh. Critical miss? Yikes.
I'm gone.
Let's go.
Not the fiendling.
Oh shoot! Oh no! Okay. Tattoos and stuff. Wait, you drop everything? You do. God damn. Is there anything in here? Dagger.
Endure. In enduring, grow strong.
Damn it.
I shall serve.
I'm gone.
Sharp blade.
Why not? Play of the shadows. Ready. Might as well.
What's up?
I hear your words.
I'm here.
Your
In
sheer
Saman's
honesty
name.
stabs pain into my eyes.
Aye, what? Yourself wide open.
Nice.
I will hear you.
That was a waste. Oh, I did that.
What you be wanting now? Right.
Enemy sighted.
Balance in all things.
Yeah?
It is I. There cannot be two skies.
Let's go.
Endure.
Choose
In
another one.
enduring, grow strong. There cannot be two skies. I hear your words.
Jeez. Sound effect gotta be so loud.
Huh?
Aye?
What?
I will hear you.
Your sheer
There cannot
honesty
be
stabs
two
pain
skies.
into my eyes.
Nice. Good stuff. The key.
Done.
What about in here? Good stuff. So excited. Bozo. Bronze bracelet. We did it. Let's get the hell out of here. I have a key. Wait, is this not the key? Two of them.
What's up, Chief?
Until folly.
What's the word, Chief?
Nice. Wow, what's going on with this? Oh, I just can't carry it.
Done.
Done. Should be like examine button instead of just opening the door straight away. Okay, not just
Might as well.
a lockpick succeeded. Nice.
I'm gone.
Ready. Might as well. Got it.
Nice. Oh, money! How? What the hell?
All right.
Whew. Come on now. Where's everyone? Show me to another door to the room if provided means. Oh shoot. Oh wait a minute.
All right.
I could just do this. Open it. And then
Aye?
go frickin' stealth mode.
Right. Like a shadow I am. Like a shadow.
I'm gone.
Good stuff. I must say, Cutter, I'm impressed. I thought for sure those animals would chew you up for good. Well, I guess I should thank you. She pauses for a moment, then reaches into her pouch and pulls forth a small green gemstone. Here, this one's on the dogs. See you around, Cutter. Farewell, Sybil.
Updated my journal.
Oh! My efforts made it possible for Sybil to safely escape from the tenement of thugs. Somehow, I can't help thinking that it won't be long before she winds up in trouble again.
Like
We're in the alley, huh? Wow.
Right.
All right.
What is this? The rickety dwelling looks as though it has stood for centuries. The wooden walls are weathered and worn with age. A number of planks on the side of the structure appear to have been recently pried loose. Greetings. It turns to face you and a series of symbols appear around its head. Symbols have a slight glow about them. They just hover there. Anna, can you translate what he's saying for me? Will you? Can you tell me about the Lady of Pain? The look at the ghostly image makes you uncomfortable. Who are you? What are you doing? Very descriptive, thanks, farewell. Funky looking alley, dude. Oh snap.
Done.
I see a dead body of a Davos. The stench of its decay is overpowering, and the looks of its rigid, unnatural posture, extreme rigor mortis, has long since set in. These are stories bones tell on the corpse. As you reach out with your power, there is a faint stirring in the air. The Davos body blurs for a moment. You feel a strange wrenching pain in your skull, as if someone is hammering on it, sharply, desperately. Try and focus. Your vision goes black for a moment, and the hammering pain fades, until it sounds like it is coming from outside your skull. The darkness clears, and you hear the hammering coming from outside the building. The entire building seems hazy somehow, confused, as if you are seeing through a mist. Keep focusing on the vision. The hammering dies, and you suddenly see a spectral version of the Davos entering the building. As it does, the windows and the doors become like water, suddenly sealing over the entrance, and the Davos came through. The Davos turns, pauses, and then begins a slow circuit of the room, examining the walls and hammering on each one once, as if testing it. The Davos completes its circuit of the room, then pauses by the door. It once entered, it begins hammering, chipping away the stone. With every blow, the wall repairs itself, the vision fades to black, and the hammering continues, first at a steady pace, then slower, then slower. Your vision clears as the hammering ends, and then you are once again standing beside the corpse of the Davos. It looks as if it withered away here, trapped in the building. Damn. Hammer. Can I use it? No. Damn.
What's up? Okay.
Done.
This dark recess descends from a few feet before ending abruptly in a solid rock face. What the hell are we? Anna? This is the place I found you, lying right where we stand. Whoa. You stare in awe at the bizarre spectacle before you. What appeared to be an ordinary, unremarkable brickled wall now throbs and pulsates with the movement. The wall expands with curious elasticity, heaving outward, as if some unseen force were trying to push its way. Trying to push its way through the barrier from the other side. Slowly the undulating mass begins to settle. The curve is becoming more and more pronounced, and you find yourself at eye level with a stony caricature of a human face. What is that? I don't know. I do not know. Oh, I do not know. Anna stares at the face in disbelief, her hands nervously fingering her daggers. But I'm for leaving, or we found out, eh? Not just yet. There is something. Suddenly a strong breeze begins to blow around you, and the air is filled with an eerie sighing. The rushing wind grows stronger, and you can make out other sounds as well. The creaking of boards, the rustling of leaves, and the grinding of stone upon stone. After a few moments, the clamor ceases to be individual notes and begins to blend into one articulate sound. You can make out a voice that speaks softly, yet seems to come from all around you at once. You. It cannot be you. Do you know me? The wind around you has stopped, but the voice is still somehow present. You are restored again. I saw you destroyed. Destroyed? Where? I saw you destroyed here, in front of me. I see all within. Do you know what happened to me? Things that cast no shadow were shadow. They rose around you, tore you down. Do you not remember? Wait, so it's those things that attacked Farad. You concentrate on the strange voice composed of sounds around you. Somewhere in the deepest recesses of your mind, there is a brief glimmer of recollection. You feel as though there is something vaguely familiar about the sounds. Close your eyes and try to remember. Whoa, cutscene! Damn, we're getting freaking whipped by ghosts. Anna. Yes, you remember. The voice of the alley rings in your ears, scattering the images from your mind and returning you back to the present. Destroyed as soon as I shall be. As soon as I shall be. I cannot delay division much longer. Pressure builds, soon stones will crumble, and the floating ones will repair me to destruction. Floating ones? I think it means the Dabbas. They're always fixing and repairing things. I see. Pressure too much. Pressure is too much. Too many places folded inside, not enough space. Must divide. Divide. Oh, I must be in the way. What are you talking about? I think it's pregnant. Oh? Oh? Freaky. So where are we technically standing right now? I really don't want to answer that, Mort. The voice continues. Help me divide. Branch out. Expand. New apertures will open. You may use them to travel to the lower ward. What do you need to divide? The floating one is upon me, repairing. It prevents me from dividing. I undo its repairs, but it returns again and again. Repairs anew. Must remove floating one. You want me to kill the Dabbas in the alley? Remove it. Only then can I divide. Very well, I'll remove the dabbas for you.
Updated my journal.
That's wild. Buh.
Done.
Oh, is there another one?
Done.
Done. Oh, cutscene. That's wild. It's that cutscene again. Ugh. Goddamn thing just went. But how'd it happen and why? Okay. Floating ones, let's see. Right.
Updated my journal.
Can't seem to get rid of him. Must be removed.
I'm
I'll
gone.
think of something. Don't worry. Don't you worry.
Done.
Greetings. I understand. It turns to face you in a series of symbols. Right, I said, I must attend to my duties. No time to speak. I understand. I just thought you should know that I discovered the body of a Davos in this alley. Davos cocked his head slightly to one side. A number of symbols stream above its head, most of which indicate surprise and distress rather than words. Dead? Where? Lies in the abandoned building not far from here. It looks as though it got trapped inside somehow. Davos stares at you briefly, then bows slightly and floats off in the direction of the building. Door is locked. There you go. Did it.
I'm gone.
As you approach the stone face, the various ambient sounds of the alley once again assault your ears, and through them the voices speak. You have returned. I spoke with the Davos. I told him about his dead brethren, and he left to investigate.
Updated my journal.
Yes, the floating one no longer repairs. It is now with the other. I have closed myself around it. It remains inside me forever. I see. Now it is trapped. You can divide without interference, right? Still cannot divide. Too weak. Cannot undo floating one's repairs. Its changing must be reversed before I can divide. You must undo the floating one's repair for me. You want me to undo the Davos's changes? How? Seek out the parts of me the floating one has changed. Reverse the changes. Undo the repairs. Must be exact, precise. Only then can I divide. Very well, I'll find and reverse repairs for you. I'll probably need some tools. A hammer and a pry bar should do the
Updated
trick.
You wanna
my
learn some new
journal.
tricks?
Get that stealth all the way up.
All right.
I need that hammer again. Please tell me this is opened. Oh, I have the hammer. Never mind. Cool. Good thing I picked it up. Examine the structure more closely. It appears as if the Davos was in the process of repairing this building. Several newer and sturdier boards have been nailed into the place of the older ones. With the right tool, it may be possible to reverse the repairs. Use the pry bar to loosen the boards. One by one, you pry loose the fresh boards from the face of the building. As the last board comes free, the building emits a loud groan as its weighing shifts unsteadily upon its now unsupported frame. And then there's one over here. Use a hammer. Notice that strangely enough, the building no longer appears quite as old as it did at first glance. Alright, I did it. Did your little puzzle. Little puzzle thing.
I'm gone.
Reverse the repairs you have asked. Yes, all is in order. I am grateful. Again, the wind begins to blow around you. This time with fierce intensity. The omnipresent sound of the alley begins to increase in volume until the soft murmur of the voice is nearly drowned out by the ensuing racket. Now you must go. Division begins. The way is now open to you. Very well then.
Updated my journal.
The stone face before you begins to transform once again, its mass shifting and roiling as you look on. The entire wall seems to melt before your eyes, exposing a narrow passageway beyond. The ground underfoot suddenly begins to rock violently, and the soft sighing of the wind intensifies to a more urgent, almost human-like moaning. You can hear the sounds of crashing stones and snapping boards all around you as you dash into the passageway. Leave.
Updated my journal.
Whoa! It do be dividing. Oh my god. It's repairing itself. Rebuilding.
In knowing the teachings of Zerthamon, I have become stronger.
You there, sir. You look like you might be interested in some fine clothes. Is this the one? It's a skull, ain't it? That's the one he wants. Grab it. Hey, let go. Help. Yo, Wan, how you doing? Wait, Mort. What the hell just happened?
All right.
What the hell just happened? Hold up, let me. I feel like I read it and was not paying attention.
Done. Updated my journal.
The stone face before you begins to transform once again, its mass shifting and rolling as you look on. The entire wall seems to melt before your eyes, exposing a narrow passage beyond. Oh, okay. The ground underfoot suddenly begins to rock violently, and the soft sighing of the wind intensifies to a more urgent, almost human-like moaning. You can hear the sounds of crashing stones and snapping boards all around you as you dash into the passageway.
Updated my journal.
Okay. Whoa! It's just like,
In knowing the teachings of Zerthamon, I have become stronger.
yeah, so you look like you might be interested in some fine clothes. Where are you going? This is the one. The skull, ain't it? That's what he wants. Grab it. Let go. Help me. Ah, shoot. Wait, after. Oh, no. Well, there
I'm
goes
gone.
my freaking. I had a party, and now we're down one. What the hell? Where are we? We're on the lower ward. Oh. You can travel now.
Done.
Does it work with anything? What if I go over here? Turn to nighttime. Guess it was a big travel. Whoa, fast travel. Okay, alley size.
I'm gone.
Anything change? Why do I have to unlock all this again? This massive iron gate is rusted shut. There's no way to open it. Or no way it'll open. Wow, I have to walk through all this again. Maybe I can. Alright, fair enough. Ah, shoot.
I'm gone.
Oh, we haven't
Alright.
been in here. What's in here? Nothing we want. You rest here? Now rest in this area? What's the point of the rest button if I can't rest anywhere without
Alright.
permission, really? This dark recess descends out. Oh. The limited structure seems still on the verge of collapse. The planks of the dowels have hammered into place. Yeah, okay.
I'm gone.
Nothing. Wharton. You see a harmonium officer. He gives you a bored look as you approach. Greetings. He gives you a bored look. Greetings, citizen. Measure 3 Wharton at your service. I have some questions. He sighs. I don't mean to be rude, but I am on duty and I have no time for questions. He pauses. If you would like the information, go talk to Ebb Creekness. I know I've heard that name. Who is Ebb Creekness? He is an old friend of mine. I think he considers himself to be a tout now. So he can give a chant concerning just about anything. Where do I find him? Yeah, okay. It's the guy in the smoldering. Where are we? Sebastian. You see an older man in elegant robes. He has bright eyes and a warm smile. He gives you a slight bow as you approach. Good day, Cutter. I am Sebastian. How may I serve you? Greetings. Greetings to you as well, Cutter. He stops in a mid-sentence as he notices your scars. You see his eyes travel along them and his eyebrows arch in surprise. He returns his gaze to you. I was about to ask what I could do for you, but there is no need. I think I see why you came to see me, Cutter. What? Are you trying to say you can help me with these scars? He smiles at you and shrugs his shoulders. Perhaps, Cutter, perhaps. He leans forward and begins to examine your scars carefully. He runs a finger along several of them, mumbling to himself. Finally, he looks up at you. Yes, Cutter, I can help you. I cannot cure you, but I can alleviate the worst of your condition. And your price? Ah, yes, the price. He begins stroking his chin and stares at you. You get the impression that you are being weighed somehow. He seems to come to some sort of a decision. I have a job that I think you could perform. Go on. I have signed a contract with a certain creature. I am no longer able to fulfill the contract. It is beyond my abilities, however. However, the creature will not release me from the contract. Instead, it has threatened me with death. Unless I fulfill the contract. Let me guess. You want me to solve this problem for you? He sighs. Yes, I cannot do it myself. My reputation demands that I fulfill the contract or face the consequences. I am at your mercy in this regard. Will you help me? What kind of creature are you talking about? An Abishai named Grosok. He pauses to gauge your reaction. I know this is a difficult task, but I think you can handle. Also the reward I offer is great. He gestures at your scars. What were you contracted to do? He shakes his head. I cannot reveal that information, Cutter. I'm magically bound not to. This is why people come to me. They know that if I accept a contract, it will be handled with discretion. I see. I'm interested. Looks at you hopeful. Will he do it, Cutter? Yes, give me the details.
Updated my journal.
He smiles at you and gives you a sigh of relief. Thank you, Cutter. The creature is an Abishai named Grosok. You will need a magic weapon to cause it any harm, so check with some of the shops if you do not own one. A spellcaster can harm it as well. Grosok can be found to the east, beyond the Siege Tower. Siege Tower? Yes, beyond the market. Damn thing just appeared one day, several years back. No one knows why, and no one seems to get inside. And no one seems to be able to get inside it to find out. See, questions. What is this place? He gives you a quizzical look. Do you mean this market or this ward of Sigil? This ward. This is the lower ward, Cutter, home of the common people, and the industrial side of Sigil. It's not the slums of the hive, yet it holds no splendor such as a lady's ward. Why is it called the lower ward? He lets out a short laugh and shrugs his shoulders. That depends on your point of view, Cutter. The rich say The rich say it's because this is the home of the common or lower classes. If you ask those who live here, it's because of the portals and the incident. Incident? Wait, what? What happened? The incident. Yes. He frowns as he pauses to think. A long time ago, this was known as the Prime Ward. Oh, a long time ago, this was known as the Prime Ward. Known as... a long time ago, this was known as the Prime Ward. People new to the city were placed here and not allowed access to all sigil. There were many other restrictions placed upon them as well. Some Burke took offense to that and decided to form a rebellion. It went nowhere, of course, until he made a fascinating discovery. Go on. You see, there are a lot of portals in this area of the city, and most of them open onto the lower planes. Well, that Barney Burke found a way to open them all at once. He allowed anything that wanted to come through the portals into the city. It became quite bloody. A terrible war ensued. Anyway, that's why this is known as the lower ward, because of the portals. Sebastian, how did this person open all the gates? He used an item that he either had commissioned or made himself. What was it called? He pauses to think for a moment. Ah, I remember. The shadow sorcelled key. At the mention of the key, you begin to feel dizzy. The world around you freezes, and everything turns gray. You sense a past memory trying to force its way into your consciousness. Concentrate and relax and let it come.
Updated my journal.
The world around you fades, and you find yourself in the darkened streets of Sigil. Your heart is pounding, trying to break free from your chest. Your breath comes to in ragged gasps. You've been running for hours, it seems, yet you cannot stop. You turn a corner and enter an alley. Finally slowing your flight, you feel your strength fade as you lean against a nearby wall and try to catch your breath. You become aware of something hard pressed into the palm of your hand. Glancing down, you open your clenched fist and stare at the gem embedded in the flesh. Your body sags towards the wall until your forehead touches its cold, damp surface. Your eyes close and you force yourself to take slow, deep breaths. Just as you feel your strength returning, you hear a faint noise and instantly snap to full awareness. You turn to look toward the alley mouth. Continue. At first you see nothing, just ghost visions caused by the shadow of the night. You are about to turn away when a slight movement catches your eye. Slowly, a female form glides around the corner, pauses, and then turns to face you. Your eyes travel from her slender waist toward her full bosom, and then her blade-enshrouded face. Even in the darkness, you can see her cold and motionless eyes. The memory fades, and your normal vision returns. You are standing before Sebastian in the market. He is looking at you with some concern, but this passes when he sees that you are alright. Thought I lost you for a moment there, Cutter. What became of this shadow sorcelled key? He shrugs his shoulders. No one knows. The key has been lost for some time now. Many believe the Lady of Pain took the key to prevent it ever being used again. So what was the outcome of the rebellion? He thinks for a moment. Well, everyone except the leader was given pages in the dead book. The leader and the creatures just up and vanished one day. Surely the lady's work. Survivors fled the ward. The fumes of the lower planes had polluted the air, you see. Anyway, the ward remained deserted until the foundry was eventually built. What can you tell me about the foundry? He frowns. It is home of the Gosman Cutter. If you have any questions regarding them, I suggest you go to the foundry to ask them. Alright, what's going on around here? It looks at you suspiciously. What do you mean, Cutter? He looks around and spreads his arms as if to encompass the whole ward. Life, Cutter. Life as usual, nothing more. What is this place? The market. This is a common market. There are many things for sale here. Spells, potions. Information, women, men. Just about anything you can afford the price. Who are you? I am Sebastian, a mage of sorts. I do contract work for those who can meet my price. What kind of work? He gives you a slight smile and then shrugs his shoulders. Confidential work, Cutter. I am known for my discretion and getting deeds done. People come to me with quests if I can perform them. If I do so. If I cannot, I don't. In either case, I keep silent. You hesitate to use the word mage. Why? He nods his head. Yes, I am not a mage, Cutter, but I can perform the art in my own way. I have forsaken the normal studies of magic and followed my own path. He pauses and shrugs his shoulders. It is easier to call me a mage than to argue the point. I had a talking skull and he was kidnapped. Can you help me? He stares at you at some time before answering. A skull. Well, if I were to hazard a guess, I would say that your skull is now in the possession of the Master of the Bones, which seems you should get yourself another skull, Cutter. What can you tell me about the Master of Bones? He frowns and glances about for a moment. His name is Lothar, and he does not appreciate the attention of others. I know nothing of him and can answer no questions about him. You can actually see a hint of fear in his eyes. Let us ask another question. Let us speak of another subject, Cutter. Where can I find this Master of Bones? He glances about nervously. There's a ruined house somewhere in this ward leads to his demesne. I know nothing more. You can actually see a hint of fear in his eyes. Alright. Farewell, I must go. Damn, we lost frickin' Mort, dude. The purpose of this device is unknown. It appears to be some sort of drawbridge contraption. Oh my god, dude, he dropped everything we're carrying. Damn it. Jeez. I don't want to carry all that. Whew, okay. Horror. Yeah, I guess we might as well. Mental note. Sebastian. Contract help. Kill a creature. I see a middle-aged man wearing dusty clothes. He does not appear to be in the best of health. His skin is pale yellow and you can see occasional pustule bestow along his arms. Greetings. He turns and glances at you from behind hollow eyes. His eyes narrow in suspicion as he continues to glance around. What do you want? His voice is raspy. I have questions. He turns his attention to you. What are you bothering for me for? I look for the part of a tout. I like the part of a tout. And you're available. What's a tout? He frowns at you. Someone you go for asking a bunch of damn fool questions. Stares at you. I have some questions. Who are you? Gives a slight bow. Name's Kurer. In my day, I was a pretty good warrior. Pauses and sighs. All them days is over. But I still know a trick or two. Can you teach me the warrior's way? Why not? Let me think about it. This guy teaches warrior. What's his name? Quarter. Tell me if I'm ready for more instructions. I'm ready. What can you teach me? Teach me how to use axes. I'd like to learn to use this weapon. Oh, here we go. You're ready. Yes. Oh, well, that's it, I guess. Now what? I guess nothing now. I'm looking for someone named Lothar, or the Master of Bones. He looks nervous and glances about. Yeah, I've heard of them. You don't mess them like. You don't mess them. Let me tell you, this keep is a place what's called Bones of the Night. There's some such nonsense. Where can I find this place? Frowns. Now that's dangerous, wigwag. If I were to say anything, which I'm not, I would say to keep an eye out for a gutted building here in the ward. Mayhap you'll find something there. He glares at you. But you never heard such a thing from me, eh? Thank you. I have some other questions. Are you feeling alright? Not in a few years of death won't cure. He coughs and looks up. It's been getting worse in the war of late. By my reckon, it should level out once the great foundry settles, or the wind blows through from the spire. What is with the air here? It's mostly because of all the portals. He was coughing. He has a coughing fit and then returns his attention to you. What do you mean? Lots of doors to the lower planes here land in bad air and fumes and such from who knows what layer of the abyss. That's why this here's the lower ward, he laughs. We jaunt through this area like a brilliant metal, salt smoke pipeweed. It's all yellow blankets of smoke and stinging sulfurous gas that this ward spits out. He gives you a gap-toothed smile. Pretty, hey. You mentioned the foundry. Settle the ward. Pretty much. Look for the stacks. Them gauzemen make a bunch of things out of iron. Nothing fancy, but they work. Add to the bad air, too. Godsmen. The believers. After keeping the great foundry, banging, singing, and chanting, their by me silliness on being powers in the next 10 upon 10 and a bunch of other 10 lifetimes. He rolls his eyes and spits a brown mass from his mouth. All they do is suffer and slave and work. I slave twice as hard and in no way am I going to be any sort of power. You understand me, Burke? He laughs hollowly. He said something about the winds earlier. At times winds blow in from Sigil Spire, drive the smog out. He glances up and coughs. For a while. Alright. Kina. This woman has a yellow cast to her skin and severe features. Tattoos covered her body and she wears a long blade at her side. Her eyes are like two small black pearls. As you approach her, they follow Dakon's movements. Before you reach her, Dakon breaks in. I would have you hear me. What is it, Dakon? It is my will that we not speak to this woman. Why not? She is a Zerth. Our wills are crossed blades. We have no common ground. Then do not speak to her. As you approach, she ignores you entirely. Khan gives a slight bow, which she ignores entirely. She looses a string of harsh words at Dakan, and he replies in a level tone. This only seems to infuriate her. Dakan, what did you say? He need not translate for you. I will tell you, you are a human, wearing a shirt of scars and blood, unfit to hear the words of Zerthaman. You walk in the shadow of a pariah, yet he has persuaded me to allow you to hear me speak. I would know your will. I just had a few questions. Ush, drowning. Ask and you shall be answered. What did you mean when you said I walk in the shadow of a pariah? You walk with a pariah, and you know not his history. He is quick to speak other words, but of his history he has remained silent. Ask him of Shraktlor, of the fall of a mighty fortress to the Githyanki. These words, dude. And see what his divided mind reveals to you. Ask him how he speaks with Zerthaman's words, but his Harak is as mist. It is not Zerthaman's words that lack conviction. It is their echoes that have been distorted. There is no doubt in how Zerthaman's mind is spoken. Generations of Zerth are as Rakma's jewel of one mind on this matter. Your stance carries with it. A divided mind, a doubt is yours, an echo cast from your own faithlessness. Your words speak not of the mind, Zerthaman. They are shaped of angles and hate. as if molded from Gith's mind itself. You shall lie with the dead of Shakalor in shifting chaos, where you see all with Vakar's eye. Your mind is divided. Oh my god, what were these words, dude? Stand in the way of the blades. As if sensing your intent, Dakan speaks to you without breaking the gaze he holds with. Hold fast and do not stand in the way of our blades. Oh wait, as if sensing your intent, Dakan speaks to you without breaking the gaze he holds with Kina. Kina. Hold fast and do not stand in the way of our blades. Let it go, Dakan. Dakan reluctantly lowers his blade. He now stares at him incredulously for a moment, and then a sharp grin splits her features. The truth at last. Your mind is not divided. You are a slave to this human. He speaks with an authority to you, and you listen. Your mind is cast in Gith's mold, Kina. Let's go, Dakan. You have lost your way, Dakan. Know that I hope you find your path. I pity you. Farewell. Let's go, Dakan. What was up with that?
What is your will?
Dakan, what is Shrak lore? Dakan's forehead creases as if he was struck a blow. It is not my will that we speak of that place. Dakan, tell me. Don't sound for a moment. No, it is the place where I died, my first death. What is this place? It is one of my great homes of the people. It has suffered many wounds in its life. One of its scars is by my hand. What do you mean? Upon ruling the plane of Limbo, the people shaped cities from the chaos of the... What? Upon the rolling plane of Limbo, the people shaped cities from the chaos with their thoughts. Know that there is no place for a divided mind. Dakan raises the blade from his shoulder and holds it before him. As he stares at it, it sharpens until it is almost as thin as a piece of paper. Go on. A divided mind is unfocused mind. A divided mind fractures walls and weakens stone. As Dakan speaks, the edges of the blade corrode slightly, the metal misting and melting along the edges. Many divided minds may destroy a city. I understand. Go on. Long have I known the words of Zerthaman. Through my voice, many have come to know the words of Zerthaman. The Zerth protect the community from all threats, whether to the body or the mind. They are the guiding stone. They are the guiding stones in the chaos. So it came to pass that I spoke the words of Zerthaman without knowing the words of Zerthaman. Zerthaman. It came to pass that I no longer knew myself. So you doubted the words? No. Dakan's voice is edged, and his blade sharpens in response. I knew the words, yet it came into my heart that perhaps others did not know the words as Zerthaman knew them. And so division formed as my mind became as two. The mind became divided. Those that looked to me as a guiding stone became divided. Many scores of Gith, many hundreds of scores of Gith. Shrak the lore died that day. Oh my god, these names. These words. So those that followed you came to doubt the words as well, and the city was weakened. The enemies of Zerthaman came. No. that the hatred of his words and the people lent their blades strength. Know that they sensed the weakened city, and they brought war to them. Many get drowned in the chaos and beneath the blades of our enemies. Small beads of metal appear on the surface of the blade, as if it is blistering. No, this happened long ago. It happened to you. As I fell from the walls of Shralor. Know that myself was broken. My blade was missed, my mind divided. I was adrift upon limbo seas, and I wished to drown. I died for days, my mind awash in division. How did you survive?
Updated my journal.
As you speak the words, you feel a strange crawling sensation eat its way through the back of your skull, and your vision blurs. You take a deep breath and study yourself. For some strange reason, you feel nauseous, as if the landscape had just started spinning around you. How did you survive, Dakan? I suffered. As I neared death, I came to know myself. I survived. That is all. I have some questions about the gift.
What is your will?
Damn. When the Khan told me of Shralor, I felt dizzy for a moment. For some reason, I think I know something of that place. I don't know what. Xanthia. You see a pretty woman in fine clothes. Her skin lacks the usual yellow tint of the inhabitants of the sward. She appears to be watching three nearby creatures with interest. Greetings. She turns to face you, and an annoyed look crosses her face. Yes? What do you want? I have some questions. Who are you? My name is Xanthia. She looks you up and down, then frowns. Is there something else you want? What are you doing here? There's going to be a fight, and I want to see it. She smiles wickedly. It should be interesting. A fight. Yes, see the three Sokola over there? She points to the three hulking creatures with rippling muscles. They're going to try to kill an Abishai. She snorts. The stupid oafs. I've heard of something called an Abishai. What exactly is it? It's a lower plains creature. Abatatsu, I think. She frowns on thought. In any case, Abishai have nasty dispositions, sharp claws, and can cast spells. Very formidable. The Kola look like they can take care of themselves. Normally I would say yes. The Kola are very powerful warriors. She smiles. She smiles slyly and leans in to whisper to you. However, I know something they don't. What might that be? Abishai can only be hurt by magic. She sniggers. The Kola will be slaughtered. I have no doubt of it. She straightens up and watches the Kola eagerly. The Kola. How do you know they can only be hurt by magic? She gives you an annoyed look. My husband is very high in the harmonium. The harmonium guards are trained to deal with creatures such as Abishai. She looks away. That's how I know my husband told me. Why don't you warn the Sokola? Why should I do that? She smiles evilly. I'm the one who suggested the fight. Why? My husband tries to be better in his social standing with his underlings by drinking with them in the local taverns. Last evening, he forced me to just such. My husband tries to better his social standings with his underlings by drinking with them in the local taverns. Last evening, he forced me to do just such an occasion. Those 3 oafs were there, boasting of their prowess as warriors. It was obvious they were in a drunken stupor. When they decided to leave, one of them tripped and fell into the table I was sitting at. When they decided to leave, one of them tripped and fell into the table I was sitting at. She pauses. Go on. She frowns angrily. Most of the drinks at the table spilled into my lap and ruined a very expensive evening gown. So, while the cretin was trying to apologize, I whispered to him that I only accepted the apology of a warrior of stature. If he were truly such a warrior, he'd be able to defeat an Abishai in hand-to-hand combat. You're going to get them killed because they ruined a dress?
Updated my journal.
You obviously do not understand the intricacies behind this situation. She looks at you like you're an idiot child. I was embarrassed and humiliated in front of my husband and his underlings. She looks angry. I see. I have some questions. You can tell me about this ward. Alright. I think we'll end. It's already 5. And we already did some good freaking progress. Save more. Alright. We're gonna end for today. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a good night. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.